Okay, we are live now on YouTube. So hello, YouTube. My name is Fernando. I'll be the host of today's meeting here on TNT. We're going to talk about raising a child in the digital age. Just explain really quickly how it's going to work. This is not a class. I'm not here as a teacher, so we are all free to make mistakes. Nobody will correct you. The essential rules are just be respectful and don't correct anyone. And of course, try to have fun. Let's try to have a nice and respectful chat. I'm gonna send the questions. Just a moment. Okay, the first part. And this second part. Robert, I already know that you have 4 daughters. Could you introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Robert. I live in Praia Grande. It's a South Beach, São Paulo. I live here 1 year. I moved to here. I have 4 daughters. 3 daughters live with me. I'm married. I have 49 years old. I like jiu-jitsu. I ride bike, skating. I work with 3D for some things for metaverse, VR, and games. That's it.
Also, what are the ages of your daughters?
25, 12, 10, and 7.
Also,
6. Complete 7 in the December.
So all ages. Nice. How about you, Leticia? Could you introduce yourself, please?
So my name is Leticia. I am 19 years old. I am a student of chemistry at college, and I don't have any children, any kids, but I have a sister, and she's 13 years old. So following her growth was the closest experience that I have with children. That's it.
Nice. So 12 years old, right? 12 or 13?
Me?
No, she, your sister.
13 years old.
All right. So it's the age that you can see closely this touch with technology, with the digital age, because she's
Yes.
I suppose she is in that phase. Nice. Thanks for sharing. How about you, Priscilla?
Hello, my name is I'm Priscilla. I'm from Petrópolis, Rio State. I don't have children. Yeah. In the moment, I work with test software in the voluntary project. And so in my free time, I like watch movies, series, go to the beach, travel in general. That's it.
Okay, thanks for sharing. And you, Natalia, could you introduce yourself, please?
Sure. My name is Natalia. I'm 37 years old. I'm from Uberaba in the state of Minas Gerais. So currently I'm living with my parents. I think I don't have contact with any kids. But anyways, it's a really nice subject to talk about it, because sometimes I think it's not good for us to write when you don't know how to balance the use of technology. But I like to spend my time here on TALKNTALK to learn more English. And I think that's all for now.
Great, thanks for sharing. And hello, Gabriel, can you hear me now?
Hello. Good afternoon. Yeah.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm fine, man. And you?
Great. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm Gabriel Quirino. I'm 26 years old. I live in Morro da Fumaça, a small town south of Santa Catarina. I work as a fireman. I'm working right now. What else? And the second one, I don't have a kid, and I think that's it. I have a niece, the only kid that I have contact. I would say maybe my sister-in-law as well. It's a child as well.
Okay, thanks for sharing. And about me, my name is Fernando. I'm 33 years old. I live in Brasilia. I work in the environment protection field, but I'm actually I have a graduation and a post-graduation in the language area. So I'm really interested in this area, especially English, that I've been studying for a while. And I'm here on TNT since December, and since March, I'm also a host here. And I do have a son, a 14 years old boy. He's spending his vacation with me. So he's in the other room now playing video games. So I splitted my week between working a lot and playing video games with him, which is great. All right, let's start with number 2. How do you think technology has changed the way children are raised? What are the pros and cons of this change? Leticia.
So I think that there are more cons than pros, but because in my opinion, kids that growing with technology are growing up lazier, both physically because they don't play as often in the past, and intellectually too because the screens and cell phones doesn't encourage them to be creative, to be curious. All things are ready and available, and they don't need to discover. So that's my opinion.
Good, great point. I totally agree with you. It's something that put us in a lazy position as well. Technology, we are getting lazy too. So for children, it's easier to sponge off this behavior. So I totally agree with you. Robert, what do you think about it?
It's crazy because I am an old guy. I say for my kids about my life without technology and with technology. Today I work with a metaverse. It's so crazy, you know. But I say for my kids is much better the real life without technology. You know, of course, you need a cell phone. Is necessary today, but when you have kids, my kids with 12 and 10 have cell phone, but I control the time, you know, because the better of life is skating, ride bike, cook, bake cakes, whatever, you know. The life is much better without technology when you is a kids, you know.
Yeah, and a nice point that you mentioned that our generation started. We saw the beginning of it, of this boom of the internet. So it's crazy for us to see how the things were and how the things are now. pros and cons, but everything has changed during our lives. That's crazy.
And talking with the other persons, it's necessary to grow up,
Yeah.
face to face, talking
Yeah.
face to face.
Yeah, it's been a while that I don't have any meeting face to face,
Yeah.
for example. Thanks for sharing. Priscilla.
So I agree with you, everybody said, because I consider this important in the specific situation about the relation gender, in my opinion, because the children all the time, more time in the computer, in front of the computer, yeah, the planks different, yeah, it's not normal. You see the child play planks in the streets, for example. It's more common to see the child in front of the computer or in cell phone, I don't know. And because that I consider it's bad, because influencing your creative, yeah, because you need something, you search about in the Google, yeah, it is. And other things, there are other apps you can know, you can learn about it, yeah. You don't need the other person. Sometimes it's not necessary, yeah, because that I consider it's a bad situation for the new generation, yeah. I think this.
Thanks for sharing, Priscilla. I really have difficult to point if it's a good thing or a bad thing, because I think they come together. Good and pros and cons. Is just a different generation, a different moment. And I remember then when I was a child, my mother used to say that in her time was totally different. Now it's easy. Now you are lazy. So, but to me it was normal because I was born in that time. So the things just change. It is a different generation. I really don't know how to point it out if it's good or bad. It's difficult.
And I understand. Yeah, it's sometimes I don't know. I don't have children, but it's appropriate to put a balance here to control the same Robert said. Yeah, it's important to control, because if you don't put the go, I don't know, I forget the name, regras, it's not good. Yeah, the child in front of the computer all the time.
Yeah, that's true. Balance. It's a good word for that. Thank you, Priscilla. How about you, Natalia?
Yes, I totally agree with everything that people said, and I'm trying to think more about it. When you said, Fernando, about what our parents said to us, that comparison, I remember in my time is the television the problem, right? Nowadays, no one talk about television anymore. And if you think about this, for example, the kids that I know, even that I don't have much contact, is that the fact that the parents give the cell phone and they do their own researches on the internet. And I think this is kind of dangerous, maybe because in that age, they are really naive, and maybe then they can find some content that is not appropriate to their age. So I think this is a bad thing, because television, even that is not so good, they have this control better than a cell phone, for example, since during the day, they will show, how can I say, they will not show program is not appropriate. And another point, besides what the people said, I was thinking that I'm not sure. I would like to, for example, Robert that have kids, or Leticia that has a youngest sister. if the children have the opportunity to hang out with their friends, to play with their friends, or stay in the cell phone, these kids, your daughters and your sister, Leticia, they will choose stay in their cell phone or go and play with other kids? I don't know. I think about myself as a kid. I think I would prefer to play with the kids, but I'm not. It's something that I'm curious about now that Leticia and Robert talk about their families, and I was just thinking about that because I don't know what else I can add to this question, honestly.
What would you say, Leticia? I forget.
So my sister,
Yeah.
she isn't so apegada to technology, and so I think that she will be prefer to play with your friends and watching a movie with your friends, but not stay on cell phone.
Yeah.
But
Good for her.
I talk a lot about this with her. So maybe that's because this.
Okay, thank you. How about you, Gabriel? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, so I'm gonna try to talk a little bit as well because everyone's said everything. But I think I believe that, like Leticia said as well, it's more cons that pros in my mind. There are two ways, and my mind's a pros ways. I believe that's important to the kids have a time to use the technology during the day, or I don't know the how can I say the right age, because I don't have a child, but I think it's important because nowadays it's important to learn about technology because it's our life is it's totally together technology. We are walking every day with technology. So, and I think I'm going to say the mind of the child keep faster. I think it's important to improve anyway. But I think the cons it's hard to say because there are a lot of things. But I think that I came my mind right now about maybe sedentary lifestyle. It's a point, I believe it. I know a lot of parents that have a child that postponed a lot of activities and even a homework because they keep a lot of time on the smartphone. But I understand the parents, but it's not good because like I know a lot of parents that are even at home after job, very tired, and give the smartphone for a child, maybe for have more time by themselves. Maybe the child cry a lot of time and stop crying only with the smartphone, only watching some videos on YouTube or on a platform. And it's a danger as well, like Natalia said, because there are a lot of bad things on the internet. So and I think this kind of thing affect the relationship, the first step inside our family with the parents. So, and I think it would be that there are a lot of things, but my mind that came right now, that's it.
All right, thank you. I agree with you. And about that the parents put their cell phones on the children's hand and let they do whatever they want. It's something complicated because it's a bad thing, of course, but I think our parents used to do that with us, with television, as Natalia said, because they want to have their time, they want to do their things, and especially if it's a single mother or a single father, they need some time, and it's a way to have this moment. So I totally agree with you, but it's a behavior that is being happening
Exactly, for that, exactly for that reason, I said that I understand the parents, because like if you go out with a diner, for example, a restaurant, it's very common to see a table with the family, with a couple with 2 or 3 child, 1 child only, and the child with the smartphone on hands, and the parents talking between them, for that reason, because they need to have a time, and it's only reason, the only way, you know?
Yeah, it's a difficult
Yeah.
subject, but I agree with you. Thank you, Gabriel. And about the next one, number 3, it's more or less about what the point that Natalia raised here about children socializing, and Leticia said that her sister preferred to socialize instead of staying with technology. I would like to hear from Robert. How about your daughters? They think the digital era affect the way children socialize with others?
Man, I control the time here, TV and cell phones and computer, you know. Of course, my kids love to draw in computer, because I have a digital desk to draw, you know. Of course, my kids love this. I love cell phone, my kids love cell phone, but you need to control, because this affect how can to do new friends, you know. But it's of course I understand some parents, when you need to work. I work in my home office, you know. Sometimes I need to yeah, to use my cell phone with my younger daughter, you know. But of course, I prefer when my younger daughter use pencil, inks, you know, to pass your time. I prefer, you know. The others kids understand my opinion and use the rules, regras.
Yeah.
Yes, to use cell phone and video games. I love video game. I have video game, you know. And I explain. You need to talk with friends, your neighbor, your school friends is much more important. Face to face, you know, face to face.
Yeah, that's true. It's nice, this balance that you do.
Yes,
with your daughters.
I'm gonna start in my house read day, you know, but no digital books, because of course I have Kindle, paper books.
Yeah,
it's very important, but I understand some cases, you know.
Yeah,
when you have kids, it's so hard.
it is. In my case, my son, he has his friends, his colleagues and his friends that he met in person, and he usually does that. He met the children in person, and then they're gonna play. You know, they keep in touch through the virtual world. Each one in our houses. Sometimes they are together but playing online. So it's like a balance, but they tend to be more on online world. And who am I to tell him not to do that? If I study from home, I work from home, I do everything from home, I attend the meetings from home, I do everything. So it's difficult to say, no, go outside and play if I'm not doing that. So it's very, very difficult to raise a child nowadays. In all the days, actually, it has always been difficult. What are your thoughts on that, Priscilla, about socialization of children?
I believe in the effect, in the same Rob said, about the type communication different. In the face-to-face, it's not common. I believe that there is this the situation happening the situation, but it's not common. I believe that, yeah, affecting this point. Yeah, I believe that.
All right.
And about the positive or negative about this situation, it's important to put to control. Yeah, the parents control about your children all the time the computer. You control about the time. You need visit your friends. I don't know, play with the other things.
Yeah, that's true. I totally agree with you. And thank you, Priscilla. And I would like to hear from Natalia. You started this topic asking, actually, about Leticia and Robert opinions. But what do you think this digital era affect the way the children socialize?
I'm sorry, I didn't see the next question. Otherwise, I didn't, ask this. But I mean,
no, don't worry. It's okay.
Oh, yes, I totally agree with. It was nice to hear Robert and Leticia and your opinion as well. And I think it have good points, but I mean about the way these children socialize. But I think in the end it's important there is some social skills that I think you just can get it in face-to-face. Even that you have like some online friends that you talk every single day, I think is different when you see the person in real life. But at the same point, I would say that is a good point of socializing on the internet. Maybe it's good because you can find people with same interests that you have. And maybe in the real life, this will not so easy to find. I remember when I was young that I used to love manga, anime, and that was not something common here in my city. So I struggled to find people with same interests, the same hobbies. And on internet nowadays, it's so easy to find your place in the world. So I think this is a good point, not just bad points, right?
Yeah, it is a good point. I remember that I used to be a fish outside of water. I used to feel like that too. And the internet changed this, so people can choose where they want to be. This is nice. Thank you, Natalia. How about you, Gabriel?
So I think like the people said, there are cons and pros again, but in this case, man, in my case, talking about not my niece, my nephew, and I remember the last part that I did in my home, a small part, a barbecue with family, and my nephew keep it. I forgot all the time on the smartphone and at the room playing Free Fire, and didn't even appears to it, man. I remember her mom's talk a plate of food for him and on the room, and it's a bad socialization in my mind, because I think because I believe that my nephew pass a lot of time on the smartphone. It's a problem, like Robert said. Robert, there's a time for your for her child, it's important. But the same way, I think it's important to develop some social skill. I believe in it, but I think that's it. I don't know, maybe I don't have a child, so it's very hard to to answer.
Yeah, but you are all right. You are right. I'm listening to my voice. Okay, now stop it. My son was in that phase of playing Free Fire specifically, so it was difficult, very difficult, because he was really addicted. We had to set up rules for real, as Robert was saying. I think it's the only way we have to balance, because it is something very addicted.
I had problems with games in my childhood, like when I was a teenager, not so time ago, but I was addicted in online games called League of Legends. I don't know you know this game, or LOL. It's more common name. And I remember that my parents put I don't know how can I say, device on the socket, tomada, and it's called here a timer. I know. And it's a specific time my internet it was turned off, and it was crazy.
This is a nice way. nice gadget. Thank you, Gabriel. Leticia, would like to add something you already said about your sister. I don't know if you answered this question. Did you?
No.
Okay, so go ahead.
I can answer now. So I think that technology, of course, impacted the socialism for children, because sometimes they are so focused on screens that they forget about the world and the people around them. And okay, this happens to us too. Everyone is expelled by technology, but I think that for children is worse, because they are in an age with a lot of development. And I agree with Natalia, because the technology sometimes prevent children to develop some social skills that are very important. So I think that's it.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Even for us adults, is something like that. Because, for example, I'm here attending the meetings and studying and doing everything from home. And I've been studying English for a while, but I've never spoke English person to person in my life. So I don't know how it's gonna be, because I've never I've studied all this time through the internet, so it will be something new for me, and it's crazy because it's a language. So that's crazy. All right, I would like to skip number 4 and go for to number 5. Besides the technological issue, how do you think parenting has changed over time? Priscilla, please.
So, how can I explain this? So, in general, when I think about, for example, the past, it's different to compare it now, because the world change all the time. And about the comportment change, change the comportment, communication, how can I say? When I need communication, for example, the cell phone, for example, today it's more easy to communication. You can use your cell phone for communication, send a message. It's more easy. In the past, it's not possible. Yeah, I believe that in general the communication change. Yeah, all the time about the advance the technology. It's normal. Yeah, and the socialized influence. Yeah, I believe this point and these words. Yeah, the specific words. Communication, the socialized to influence change all the time. It's normal. In the future, it's totally different comparison at now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Good point. And it's a point that changes everything else. The way that we communicate changes everything. So
Yes, the opinion, the other things, many things. Yeah.
yeah, totally agree. Thank you, Priscilla.
Welcome.
How about you, Robert? Do you have a daughter with 25 and you have a a very young daughter. So what do you think is the difference in the way that you raised one and the other?
Man, I use old methodology. When I say, hey, turn off the computer, that's it. Okay, without modesty, I am a good father, you know, and my wife a good mother. But when me or my wife say, hey, turn off the computer or turn off the cell phone or turn off the TV, that's it. And today you have a lot of couples with license, you know. It's normal, maybe, because today you have much more things, stressful things, you know. And I understand a bit, you know, but the very important is okay, use a good father, a good mother, but when you say turn off, that's it, you know. This is very important. You can't to live without technology. It's impossible today, you know. My kids used to study, to play video games, to play games. It's normal today, you know. But the control, the parents have a control. That's it. It's a man rule.
So the essentiality is the same.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course, you can say turn off with love. Hey, turn off and off. That's it.
Yeah, I see. Thank you, Robert, for sharing. Gabriel.
Yeah, this phrase can say turn off with love. It's good. Turn off. I know. Okay, so I believe this method about Robert as well. I prefer this method. I think it's how can I say? I think it works better than nowadays. It's obviously we cannot. I don't know, how can I say, hit and a child now, and you can only say maybe with more. And at the same time it's more stronger, with the voice more high, and I think it's okay. The child will be understand in my mind, but I think nowadays change a lot the comportment. Like a long time ago, the couple in general, or maybe the father works a lot on the rural area, you know, maybe in my region, you know, and the parents, we were more, how can I say, rude, you know, more strong, more, I don't know, hard. I think difícil, yeah, difícil not, sorry, duro. And nowadays, I think the comportment changed a lot. Like the parents beginning to understand that the studies, it's important, like the child study, it's important, because a long time ago it was very common the child with maybe 10 years 12 years work in the rural area, and nowadays it's very hard, it's more hard to see it. And maybe the maybe only the teen, I forgot, maybe the child with 16 years old starting a labor life, I would say, because the parents understand nowadays it's more important to study. Obviously, it's important to work as well. It's important to understand the value of the money, but I think for that reason the comportment changed a lot, and the behavior as well, like Robert said, nowadays it's more common the father is not to be more strong with the kid, the child, and but I prefer the Robert's method.
Good, Gabriel. Good changes. This mindset of it's good to keep children on schools, because as I said, parents used to encourage kids to work since they are very, very young, and now it's different. I think the parents have a different mindset. Of course, there are some families that don't have the minimum structure to put their children to study.
Don't have
Unfortunately,
choice, no?
yeah, don't have choice. But those families that have choice, they are choosing putting the kids on the school. This is important.
It is very important. Talk with your kids. Talk with the life parents. To talk is very important.
Yeah, communication is very important in any relationship, especially one that you're gonna keep forever, like with our sons. So yeah, totally agree. And you, Leticia, do you, besides the technological issue, how do you think parents has changed over time?
Of course, I think that nowadays parents are more open to understand your children's word, and in other hand, too, children are more open to understand your parents' word. So, for example, social medias is a place that the parents and the children go. So, for example, my mom sent me memes, and I think that it's a big difference, this kind of contact between parents and children is different from the past.
Yeah, I agree. And it's a nice way to connect, to bond with our children. I do that with my son too. I send memes and videos and things on the internet, and he does the same. So it's a nice bonding thing. Thank you, Leticia. Last but not least, Natalia, what do you think about it?
It's so tricky to be the last one to answer those questions because everyone say everything about it. I don't know, maybe a different, try to say something different, but the same. I would say that maybe nowadays it's easier to parents to have access to new tools about, not tools. I don't know if the word would be ideal, concept about education. So it's easier to them to find new ways to try to educate their kids, to raise their kids, not just the traditional way, as people said. So maybe this is one of the issues, I don't know. And the fact that nowadays I think this more self-confidence in image and friendly image of our parents, instead like these two big figures that you have to fear, in the past.
It's terrible. It's terrible. My case, my father. Oh my gosh.
Yes, well, this can work, of course, but I'm not sure it's not just this approachment, right? So you can use different approaches too. And I think that's one of the difference, that now you can have access to a lot of information, decide what is good to how you want to create your kids. I don't know what else should I say about this.
It's a good point.
Yes, and Francine made some. Sorry.
Sorry. I have a bad history. My father, say for me, my grandfather died when my father have 15. But my father taught me about bad moments. My grandfather slapped with how can I say, facão, in the face, face of your brother. Pow.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
Terrible. It's crazy, but my grandfather don't understand about love. My grandfather living in the farm without parents near, but it's crazy. It's a bad way to.
Yeah.
That's it.
It is a bad way that let scars on the children, not just physically, but in their mental health during all their life. So
yes,
my
father have of course my father changed your mind with a bad history with my middle sister, but a long time my father have a bad how can I say, feelings, bad feelings. But my father changed, turn the key in your mind. It's a good father today, a good grandfather, special man. That's it.
That's important, that in one point during this
yes, my father changed the ship.
Somebody changed
the ship.
Yeah, this is very important. Yeah. Guys, I love the conversation. I think that we could talk about it for hours, because this is a topic with many points, different points. But I would like to thank you for being here. I'm gonna send the survey link. So I would like to ask you to leave a commentary if you like it, if you didn't like it, something that we should improve, or some suggestion. Be free. It's an anonymous survey. And I hope to see you next week as well, here Friday, 5 p.m.
Thank you.
Bye, man. Thank